Hey everybody, welcome back to Life with Lolo. It is time for our weekly recap of Put a Ring on It. This is season 1, episode 9, and it was titled All or Nothing. Before y'all come at me, I know I'm late. I forgot the dang on show was coming on. But here I am. I'm gonna give y'all both of them back to back, and then when the reunion comes on next Friday, I will definitely go ahead and recap that one in real time. Yes, in real time. So, anyway, before I get into the review recap, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. If you are not already subscribed to my channel, hit the notification bell to be notified when I drop new videos. And if you like this review recap, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button for me. All right, let's go ahead and dive into this episode. Okay, so we pick up where we left off in season 8, where Tamika and Vince are going back and forth again about him walking the girl to the elevator. She like, no, that ain't what you did. He like, I ain't do all this. I was in the doorway. Dr. Nicole like, look, cut all the BS out. That's not why y'all really here. It doesn't even matter what events carried on. That's not why y'all arguing. Like, y'all need to make different choices. Like, is y'all going to keep on arguing about the same thing, or how are you going to fix this, basically? Like, how do you want somebody to respond when you keep bringing something to their attention and they keep on pushing it to the side or not really answering it all the way or whatever? And she was saying, like, how do you restart versus continuing to argue? So they had something to kind of think about, and she was telling them, like, they need to be honest with each other. And that's what Tamika said in her confessional. She just wants Vince to be honest with her. Dr. Nicole was saying, like, they need to sit down, have a conversation, an open, honest conversation, and get to the root of why they keep going back to the past. Because the past keep coming up in the present, and it just keeps this whole argument over and over again, and it's not really going anywhere. So then Dr. Nicole kind of says this is the last time before decision day, basically. So basically, your decision is not to redate anybody else. It's either to invest in someone you already dated or to not go on a date. So she goes around the room. Shay says she doesn't want to go on a date with Rick. Mike said he doesn't want to go on a date with Whitney because they basically ended their last date as a friendship. Of course, Shay was happy about that. Tamika says she wants another date with, I can't think his name, but she wants another date with Dude. Vince says he doesn't want to go on another date. We already know Hollywood doesn't want to go on another date because he wants Ashley, because that's all he's been focused on this whole time. And then Ashley says yes, she wants to go on another date with Kwame because she's not feeling good at home, so she wants to go on this date to see if it changes anything. And so Dr. Nicole sends them off with some homework. They need to declare their vision for the future. First, their vision for the future together, and then a future separately. So then we'll start with Tamika and Vince. So Vince, basically, he feels disrespected, unappreciated. He's upset about the old stuff that keeps being brought up. And she's saying, like, she want to let go, but she can't let go, and he don't think they're gonna go anywhere until she can let go. And that's basically what it is. If she can't let go of what he did to her in the past or really trust him, then they not gonna move forward for real. Like, you could say, like, you could put lipstick on a pig, but the pig is still a pig. Like, you just not gonna move anywhere. So she says that she keeps suppressing stuff, and he's like, look, we having repeated conversations. She want him to take accountability. He like already took accountability. Like, what you want me to take accountability for? What? The stuff I did 2 years ago that I already took accountability for? Like, come on. Like, what else do you want me to do? Like, what else do you want me to do? And so he like, oh, I'm not going to be responsible for us breaking up over 2 weeks over an emoji or whatever. So she like, it's not about the emoji. I'm not even going to talk about the relationship, the thing that came out the elevator and stuff. And he like, well, if you don't want to talk about it, why are you bringing it up? So they keep going into this whole thing. She don't really trust him, but she trying to pretend like she trusts him. I just don't. And he like, well, I've been doing the right things, but I'm not trusted, and that's irritating. Like, if we gonna go forward, like, you gotta trust me. Like, how you gonna be in a relationship with somebody you don't trust? And so then she don't want to talk about it. She getting all in her feelings and stuff, and then she says that she's stuck in the past, and she knows he made some mistakes, but he's a good guy. And she said that she's trying to work on herself for her and for him so they can have like a, a better relationship. He apologizes and then they hug, new start, new day type thing. So then we see Dr. Nicole, she's meeting with Vince. And then she called him out on how when he talks to her, it seems like it's calculated, like he thought about it, or, a long time or whatever. And he said that he does that because he doesn't want to hurt her feelings, because everything that he brings up is about the past. So he can't be 100% authentic, because if he does, it will bring up something that will trigger her or something like that. And he doesn't want to do that. So Dr. Nicole was like, well, what does that do for you or whatever? And what happened? He was saying like, no, she was like, what does that do for you? And I forgot what he said. But then she said something to the effect like, have you ever worked this hard in a relationship? And he was like, no. And she was like, well, why are you doing it now? He was like, because I love her, because she uplifts me, because I feel like all these things and everything like that. And she like shifted his train of thought. So she's been like a sounding board for him, uplifting and stuff like that. And Dr. Nicole was like, so you need to be responsible for what you did, but you cannot be responsible for how it manifests in her head. So you can't be responsible for her thoughts and how she accepts things or hears things or perceives things. Only you can be responsible for what you did, how you did it, and how you continue to go. So he was like, oh, okay. And she was saying to him like she needs to take ownership of what she's bringing into the relationship as well. And she told him basically like, speak your truth, don't hold back, speak what you want to speak, because you need to breathe. It'll bring some oxygen into the room or whatever. And so then she met with Tamika, and Tamika says things are doing better. She's still on the fence about not dating him, moving forward in a relationship or whatever like that. She said they were dating for 3 months, and then a lot of stuff happened, and then they were together for like 2.5 years later, and she feels like some work has been done, but then they go backwards and stuff. And she says she doesn't really trust him, even though, like I said, she keep pretending like she do, but she really don't. We all see it. So then Dr. Nicole was like, well, what's the goal? And she was like, well, the goal is to be in a relationship with him, be in love and all this other stuff. And then she said that she feels like she's holding them back. So she did acknowledge that she felt like she was holding them back in a relationship, because she's still holding on to that past when he was walking out with all these women and all this other stuff. Girl, if you ain't leave him then, like, come on. Like, you can't tell nobody when to heal and all that other stuff. But if you did not leave him when he was out here cheating and all this other stuff, and he done turned it around where he's not cheating anymore on you, like, why you want to keep bringing whatever. Anyway, she says that she wants to guard her heart because she is afraid that he'll hurt her. And Dr. Nicole basically was saying, well, you have to give him the chance to hurt you, because if you don't give him the chance to hurt you, you're not giving him the chance to love you. I was like, oh Lord. So she called him out, and she called her out. Why I say him? She called her out or whatever. And so Tamika was like, she was acknowledging, like, she pushing him away, she holding him in the past, she not healing, for herself. Like, she was holding herself accountable, but she's hopeful. And she said, and I think Dr. Nicole told her, like, give him room to breathe so y'all both can breathe or whatever. So I thought that was good. And then she's going on a date with the guy, and I loved her fro. Like, they really looked cute together, because they was kind of like, they real eccentric type, and they was matching and stuff. And basically she told the man that she was going to still be with Vince, that she not going to pursue him and all that other good stuff. But she did say that she is finding, now I don't know how far apart this date was from when she spoke to Dr. Nicole, or when we last saw them all in a powwow or anything like that. But she was basically saying, like, she's finding her voice in this whole experiment. She's finding her voice. She's feeling like herself again. She's discovering herself. She says she lost herself in a relationship, and that she is on the path to using her voice, finding herself, bettering herself, and she relates that to the experiment or whatever like that. But she don't want to be with this guy anymore. But she did say that he was a catalyst in helping her find her voice. Like this whole thing was freeing because she could be herself, and then she found out, wow, now I know what I've been missing and what has not made me feel whole. And it was basically her suppressing her own self. So that was good. We see Shay and Mike. So they're sitting down there talking and stuff, and she asked him like, where do you see me in a year, or where do you see us in a year? And he was saying like Zion moving into the house, because she finally says that she came to terms with his son living with them and stuff. And she's like, well, what about marriage? Is that marriage not in that timeline and stuff? And he was like, well, first I want to have you have us move in together, and then I can see like if this is really what you want before I propose and stuff. Because like he was like, your timeline is real aggressive, like I don't want to move into that whole aggressive type timeline. So she's unsure, she's upset about that because she feels like he's putting her like on some trial run or whatever. But he later explained why he's putting her on the trial run, and that's because she stated that she didn't like long distance relationships, but once she got into the long distance relationship, it wasn't for her, so then she backed out. So he's trying to see like if she really wants to be a bonus mom or whatever before he commits, and then she falls back. But I'm like, dude, she is not going nowhere. She is not going nowhere. Then we was that it for them? Let me make sure. Yeah, I think that was it for them. And so Ashley in Hollywood, and what was it? Let me see. This was the one they was cooking or something. Yeah. So they're cooking, well, he's cooking breakfast for both of them and stuff like that, and they're talking. So I was sitting down, and she was asking him like, do you see me in your future and stuff? And he says that he saw her in the future, but now he don't see her in the future because she going on all these dates and stuff, and then she still want to see Kwame or see Dude and stuff. And she like, you real acting real insecure about stuff. And he like, well, I ain't acting insecure, I got more time than him. I'm the dude. I'm that dude or whatever. I ain't this. Like he going into his whole bravado thing and whatnot, and that's really turning her off because she like, look, I still see you in my future, but like I'm just trying to figure out why you trying to cut me out of your future. Like, what is, like, if you can't go with the process, like we both signed up for this this process. We signed up for this experiment. We signed up for this show. We knew what we was getting into. Like, what's tea? Like, this is, we supposed to be building back together and stuff like that. And now you trying to push me out your vision and all this other stuff. Like, what? And so they get into this whole back and forth, child. It got real loud. She goes storming off like, well, because he was still holding on to the process. She was like, well, if you still holding on to this process, then you need to let me go or whatever. So she go off, and she like, well, I'm doing me and stuff. He was like, well, fine, do you. It's all right, boo. So he getting all of his feelings. He just loud, just all this other stuff. And it's just like, come on. Like, you knew what you were signing up for. You knew that she was going to go on dates. Maybe you didn't think she was going to find somebody and catch feelings or what have you. However, it should have been a little piece of you that thought that because of the situation. If the situation at the house is toxic and a situation comes up that is peaceful, new, you're getting to know somebody, you don't have to put on this whole censor thing, you don't have to try not to hurt the other person's feeling because that person doesn't know you. Like, you don't have to put on so much for this person. Even though when you're in a relationship, you really shouldn't put on. You should just be yourself. However, you don't want to hurt that person's feelings by what you may say or whatever. So you kind of dial it down a little bit. But with this new person, it's like it's freeing and it was open and stuff like that. So he should have knew, especially if the relationship wasn't really good over here, that she may find somebody who would make her feel the way she wants to be felt like or feel in that relationship with him. So it should have been like a little piece, but he ain't count on it. He just was like, look, I ain't falling in love with nobody. I ain't catching feelings with nobody, so she shouldn't either. But that ain't, yeah, no. So, we see Kwame, he putting flowers all around on this table and stuff, and she come in her little cheetah print, and he like, oh, goddamn. Like, you know, he is feeling it. He likes what he sees. They making googly eyes at each other and stuff. And Kwame is like, look, you check off all the no, what's this the cheetah print? No, she had on the cheetah print the next one. My bad, y'all. That was the next episode. I watched them back to back. But anyway, she had on a cute little dress in this episode and he was liking what he saw. And they was making googly eyes at each other. And he was like, you check off all the boxes. Like, when can I pursue you? Like, when you gonna basically leave this dude? Like, so you can be mine. And he was saying to us, like, Ashley, a good catch. Like, this is something you don't let slip out your fingers or whatever. And she was saying, like, she just wants somebody to love her because she loves a person back hard. He wants a kiss, and he tried to go in for a kiss, but she gave him the cheek and stuff. So she was like, look. Because he was like, I know what you thinking, I know what you want. And she was like, what am I thinking? And so he went in for a kiss. And that was exactly what she wanted. But of course, she in a relationship, so she can't. So they're talking. So she was like, look, I need a distraction or whatever. He was like, all right, close your eyes. So then he puts like a pineapple on her lips, and then she like pineapple. So then he feeds her the pineapple. Then he put the pineapple or a piece of pineapple in his mouth, and then fed it to her, and then kissed her. She was like, ooh, but she ain't like, oh my God, no. She that's basically what she did. She ain't like, no, what you doing? She was just like, oh my God. My God. Like that or whatever. She was feeling him. He was feeling her. But she said she basically needs some time to think about what she's going to do next as far as her relationship with Hollywood. So everybody all back together to meet up. Tamika is saying like she turned into this paranoid person because she lost herself, and she basically learned from the experience. She found her voice. And she said something. I forgot what else what she said. But then Ashley said she had a good time. She wanted to get clarity from the relationship with Kwame. She said it was chemistry there. She was all up on his arm and stuff. And of course, Hollywood was not feeling that because he was just like, look, I got electricity over here or whatever. She was like, yeah, just because we got the lights on, if you don't plug nothing up, what she say? Because he said there's electricity over here. And she said, yeah, but if you don't plug nothing up, it's still dark inside or whatever like that. Something to that effect. Because he basically wasn't listening. And Dr. Nicole was trying to tell him and stuff. But when Hollywood getting his mood and getting his feels, he in that mood and them feels for a long time or whatever. And that's what he was. And he doesn't understand... because he was basically saying, like, the dude, he been there, done that, and when somebody trying to woo a woman or whatever, they gonna do all that in the beginning, but he can't hold on for 9 years. He not gonna do what he do for 9 years and stuff. And then Ashley said, well, you know, sometimes love is just not enough. Like, I can't bypass these other feelings. I can't get rid of these other feelings or whatever like that. I love him, but is that just enough? Is that going to sustain us? Because marriage is not a quick fix. It's not going to fix anything. If anything, it's going to get worse. So basically, she want to make the right decision for herself, which is good. He said he know what to do when he get married, and he want to get married for life, and he knows how to step up and do the right thing and all that other good stuff. Mike is still having his toxic vision on what marriage is based off of what people have told him, probably what he has seen. And Dr. Nicole is basically like, well, won't you just make marriage your own thing? There is no written law or law rule book about marriage. There is no written law or rule book about a relationship. The relationship basically is what you want to make that relationship. It don't have nothing to do with what your neighbor doing or what your mom and dad did or what your cousin and them doing. It got to do with the two people that's in that relationship are doing in their relationship. So I hate when people compare their relationship to other people, like couple goals and stuff, but you don't know what they going behind closed doors, or you don't, well, such and such marriage or such and such husband, such and such wifey, like you don't know, like make up your own rules. And then when people be like, oh, they doing threesomes and marriages, like, who cares? That's what they doing in their marriage. If they want to have an open relationship, an open marriage, or open whatever, that's what they want to do. Like, why does that affect you? Like, I just don't understand why people get so involved in what other people think about relationships and marriages. Like, just do your own thing. Make it your own relationship, because in the end, it's just going to be y'all two. So who gives a about what the other people thinking? But that's just my little my 2 cents on it. But anyway, basically, Dr. Nicole said, come up with your own rules and compromise with each other and stuff like that. Ben says his vision is to have a family, and then what's the face? Tamika, she said that she admits that she sabotages the relationships, and they was laughing about what was going to happen 6 months from now, because she was like, well, in 6 months from now, what if you get a text message from somebody or whatever, and you looking over there at the phone? Because in the one-on-one with Dr. Nicole, Vince was saying, like, every time a text message or his phone go off, she looking and, like, you know, trying to see who texting them and stuff. So during this time, she just laughed it off or whatever. So I don't know. I think, because I don't know how many one-on-one sessions they have. Dr. Nicole seems like she is really good with them, and she makes things clearer for them. So maybe if they continue to do one-on-one sessions with Dr. Nicole and then do like a couples thing, they'll work it out and stuff, because Tamika really needs that one-on-one time, because she has a lot of trust issues, and some of it may not be stemming from Vince itself. It may be stemming from other things, but she keeps putting it on Vince because that's the person she wants to be with, and that's the person she sees her future with. So every time something happens, she relates it to him, even though it may be something connected to her past. I mean, that's not a good thing, but she does need to kind of fix that and get that taken care of before they move forward to being married. Let me just make sure I got everything to see episode 9, because I think I did. Let me see. Did I get everything for episode 9? Ciao. Okay, yep, I did. So I will see y'all in the next video for episode 10. I had to make sure. All right, y'all. If y'all like this recap review, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button. If you are not subscribed to my channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and hit the notification bell to be notified when I drop new videos. All right, y'all. Until the next video, peace.